I had a dream. I got everything I wanted.
I self-titled this project Dara Starr Tucker because I really wanted it to represent a melding of the two worlds that I am involved in. I have always been a musician, but now I have developed another lane that I am finding a lot of joy and a lot of fulfillment in. I'm doing social media commentary.
I stepped off the golden.
And I've developed a bit of a presence and a following doing that, and it's brought a lot of joy and really a new layer of self-expression.
Standing right there.
Everything I Wanted is a cover of a Billie and Phineas Eilish song, and I first heard this song by a singer named J.P. Cooper. For me to have expanded my audience in the way that I have in the last few years, I am experiencing what it is like to get at least a part of what I wanted. I wouldn't say that I've gotten everything I wanted, but the song very eloquently paints a picture of someone getting everything that they want and how easily that thing can turn into a nightmare.
Don't wanna lie here, but you.
If You Asked Me To is a song that I wrote under pressure.
If you asked me to, I would move the earth for you.
My manager and bassist, Greg Bryant, wanted me to write a song in a 4/4 swing feel. And he threw down a piece of paper and a pen in front of me. He said, "You've been promising you're gonna write this 4/4 swing song for a long time. This is the time, go ahead and write it." So we had a gig that weekend. So I sat and wrote it in probably under 30 minutes. The irony is that in the last couple of years, we've really been doing it as more of a groove, more of a backbeat, which I really like the feel of it as a backbeat and more of an R&B thing.
If you asked me to, I would write a lovely tune. If you asked me to, go on, I'll carry on. But in the meantime,
I have a serious affinity for letters. I think letters is a guttural expression of something that Dara didn't know at the time was happening. There's a heavy emotional and spiritual content, but there's also a cathartic way that she wrote that song that when we play it, I feel like we're renewed again and again, and it's a real mountaintop type of song.
saving all my letters for you.
This album is really a return to form. It's a return to the kind of personal and reflective music that I have included on previous projects.
Here I stand and I'm so glad. See, I won't despise all the choices I've made.
Since I released the last album, I was beginning to grow a social media audience as the last album, Dreams of Waking, was being released.
If you were wondering where I'm going,
So I'll often encounter people online who don't know that I am a musician, and then I'll encounter people who know my music who really don't know a whole lot about what I do online. So I wanted this album to represent the opportunity to bring those worlds together in a way that I never have before.
you fill up my senses like a
This
night
album
in
specifically
the
weds her perspective with her artistry. Over the pandemic, she's become a social media commentator on music, race, film, social issues.
like a storm in the desert, like a sleepy blue ocean.
It's a really cool thing to be able to see the social media audience feed into the music.
Come fill me again.
Scars Freedom is a reinterpretation of the original Scars that opens up the album. We wanted to do a slightly different version. We didn't really know what we wanted to do with it. So we went back into the studio at the end of the day, and our pianist, Mike King, sat down and just started playing a figure, the figure that you hear open the song. He started playing, and I stopped him and I said, "Mike, can we try to do that song over that figure?" And so we did. What we ended up with is what you hear on the album. There really was no rehearsal. There was no plan for this. We just knew we wanted it to be something different than what the original was. And I love the end result of the song.
Here I stand, so glad to be.
It feels a little bit like those spirit-led moments that would happen in the services that I grew up with, where someone would just begin to sing a song extemporaneously and other people would join in. You know, my father would play spiritual songs, after the sermon or during the sermon, and we had a lot of just free-flowing spiritual moments in those church environments, and that's what that song reminded me of.
Truly free.
It's raw, it's unpolished, it's unrehearsed, and it's honest.
For the choices I've made.
Being able to continue to do what I am passionate about, which is writing and recording and performing music, is one of the greatest honors of my life.
Dara's evolution is particularly illuminating and encouraging to me. The courage in which she steps forward on social media has made her a more outspoken person for truth in real life. And that can't help but be reflected in the music.
Just a closer walk with thee. Granted, Jesus, it's my plea.
It's really nice not to have to choose between music and social activism. I can do all of the things that I feel that I was meant to do, and they can live together seamlessly. Speaking out in an online space and learning how to endure criticism has helped me be a more courageous performer. I have learned how to be more declarative in who I am and how to stand flat-footed in the space in which I exist and to shout with a loud voice.
Dear Lord, close to thee.
An artist needs an audience, and I'm so thankful to have a social media audience that is now discovering my music.
Oh, granted, Jesus, it's my plea.
And they can help to propel that creative expression forward.
Get close to thee. Oh, let it be. Dear Lord, won't you let it be?
We've sold out multiple venues this year, and more people are discovering the multiple facets of what I do.
Oh, let it be. Dear Lord, won't you let it be?
My hope is that whatever part of me they experience or plug into at any given moment feels like it's coming from the same place. It's all me. Dara Starr Tucker.
Let